This episode is brought to you by Google Gemini. With the Gemini app, you can talk live and have a real-time conversation with an AI assistant. It's great for all kinds of things, like if you want to practice for an upcoming interview, ask for advice on things to do in a new city, or brainstorm creative ideas. And by the way, this script was actually read by Gemini. Download the Gemini app for iOS and Android today. Must be 18 plus to use Gemini Live.
Hey, it's Austin James. Yes, I'm living with diabetes, but it doesn't have to define me. Thanks to the FreeStyle Libre 3 Plus sensor, I get real-time glucose readings throughout the day. The FreeStyle Libre 3 Plus sensor is small and easy to wear, giving me the freedom to focus on my life as a parent and a musician. Now this is progress. You can get a free sensor at freestylelibre.us.
Offer available for people who qualify. Visit myfreestyle.us to see all terms and conditions. Certain exclusions apply. Data on file. Abbott Diabetes Care. For prescription only. Safety info found at freestylelibre.us.
And now, stop me if you've heard this before on the Toddcast podcast.
Chances are you'll best know MMA fighter Jon Fitch as a retired welterweight champ. He went 14-3-1 in the UFC, was PFL champ, challenged in Bellator, truly one of the greats of the sport. He actually started his career as a light heavyweight. He went 4 wins, 2 losses, and 1 no contest. Trained with the American Kickboxing Academy, which is widely recognized as one of the best camps in the world. Fitch, Cormier, Khabib, Makhachev, BJ Penn, Mike Swick, some beasts have come out of that academy. Jon had an issue with the UFC using his name and likeness in their video games, which you'll hear all about in the full conversation if you check it out. He talked about how GSP was his toughest fight. No doubt, George, one of the best to ever do it. Jon touched on fighting in the PFL, Bellator, training specifically for fighters, binging true crime dramas, Pantera, Tool, and Tom Petty came up. So did Cheech and Chong and George Carlin. Superpowers, football, sports injuries. And stop me if you've heard this before. Jon talked about his career highlights. Listen to how candid he is.
One career highlight? Man, the fight week, the whole 10 days or so that I was in Brazil for that fight with Eric Silva, that was just the whole, and honestly, the training camp, like you could literally write a movie about it, I think, because the situation I was in, like the UFC clearly did not like me. They wanted to get rid of me. They brought me to Brazil to lose. All the cards were stacked against me. Younger, more exciting fighter. This guy was it. He was the next GSP. That's what they're selling it. They're calling him the King of Rio. I had to go into his backyard, and just everything I was going through at home because, like, I was hurting for money. I was hurting for money. I was trying to pay two mortgages at the time. Just the situation. Like, I called it. I said, I'm going to win this fight, and it's going to be the fight of the night, and I'm going to get a big fat bonus. And it happened. I Babe Ruthed it. I picked my shot. I called it.
Pointed, like, there we go.
At the beginning, so I can't remember what it is in Portuguese, but they chant this thing, "You're gonna die, you're gonna die." Right? That's what they say, especially when you're up against the Brazilian guy.
Sure. By
the beginning of the 3rd round, I started pumping the crowd up. Like, the crowd started cheering for me in that fight. I had a Rocky moment in that situation, and that was just one of the most epic experiences I've ever partaken in.
Yeah, that's incredible to go somewhere else, go to somebody else's backyard and have their fans start to cheer for you.
Yep. And then, and like love me for it. And like, it was great. And I got a few days to hang out in Brazil, and we went to the edge of the rainforest and hung out, had some nice coffee and some great food. And it was just amazing. It was an amazing trip.
That's got to be one of the best things about what you did.
I think that's probably the biggest reason why I started fighting was because when I didn't go on a lot of vacations when I was a kid. We went to Florida a few times. We didn't go to a lot of places. But when I started wrestling at Purdue, we got to drive and travel to different places, and that was awesome. I got to see different parts of America, and stay in different hotels, and that was just really fun to me. So when I started fighting, it was just a bigger part of that. Like, my 4th fight ever, I got to go to Mexico. Like, it's crazy. I only made like $400, but it was still fun.
But you were in Mexico.
Yeah, but I was in Mexico, man. It was great.
Stop Me If You've Heard This Before on the Toddcast podcast is powered by FKP MMA, Vancouver's #1 training destination at fkpmma.com.
Listening to a podcast should be time well spent, and I promise it will be if you'll give this podcast a try. It's called Something You Should Know. I'm the host, Mike Carruthers, and in every episode, I talk with leading experts on topics I know you will find fascinating. From why people can't keep secrets, what your favorite music says about you, why your pet acts in strange ways, and so much more. Something You Should Know is designed to give you information you can use in your life and give you great intel that you can share with others. I'm told it's a binge-worthy podcast, and with over 1,000 episodes, there's a lot to binge on. Something You Should Know has been ranked in the top of the Apple Podcast charts consistently for a long time. I know you're going to like this. I just need to get you to try it. Something You Should Know. It's available wherever you listen to podcasts.
Contained herein are the heresies of Radolf Buntwine, erstwhile monk turned traveling medical investigator. Join me as I study the secrets of the divine plagues and uncover the blasphemous truth that ours is not a loving God, and we are not its favored children. The heresies of Radolf Buntwine, wherever podcasts are available.
What's up, everyone? It's Noah Daniels.
Hey, y'all. I'm JJ.
Hey, guys. It's Kat.
And we're your hosts of the Real Hauntings podcast, where we bring on guests who share their first-hand encounter ghost stories and supernatural experiences. Now on to the trailer.
I've been warned to not tell this story, but I think because of the way it ends, it's okay to tell this story, because some people say that with certain entities, to like speak of them or talk about them or in any way like portray them as powerful will attract them to other people. The creepiest thing about it to me is a lot of times it would wait for me to notice it. Like it would just lay its arm out like this, and then I'd be like, where is it? Where is it? And then I'd see it, and then it would just slither back.
For more information on the Real Hauntings, Real Ghost Stories podcast, make sure you check out Real.fm to learn more about our podcast and many other amazing podcasts.